Let Miracles about speak. So. I'll come to him. God.
I may be wrong.
Miracles.
So, Alfred,
now you are my lawyer.
The
right.
fact is that
I understand what you're talking about.
In this country, to put it bluntly, we are all hypocrites. That is how I'm putting it. We are all hypocrites. Edudzi is a hypocrite.
You want association?
Kofi Benzo is a hypocrite.
He have condemned you people, and I've condemned them too.
I think I am the only person that is not a hypocrite. And I'll explain to you why. Don't interject me. I'll explain to you why. You see, me, I know I have a very big mouth. So everything I say, I make sure that I am very sure that tomorrow, either I will say the same thing or I'll keep quiet. Edudzi hasn't done that. This government, this president has gone after free speech. There is no other way of putting it. He has, in fact, it's a presidential policy. The man said that he is even going to use our IPs to identify us and find us where we are. You see, when you want to control my speech, it's not free. Free speech and hate speech are not the same. They are not close. They are two different things. So let's not attempt to draw some parallels or cousins between them. They are different.
And irresponsible speech is different from.
If you want to control what I say, then there's no free speech. It means that before I speak freely, I must filter it and be sure it will please you, or you accept it. And there's a reason why I say that. There is a letter written to Akufo Addo by President Mahama, then opposition leader, and has been shared on Edudzi's WhatsApp, Facebook wall. That's why I'm saying he's a hypocrite, and he accepts it. He knows why I'm saying that. February 11, 2022. And when we finish, he has to change the settings on his Facebook. It makes it difficult for me to search. There's a way he has to do it so that it's easy. I'll show him. This is what, this is President Mahama. Dear President Akufo Addo, I'll just jump them. I am appalled at the growing criminalization of speech and journalism in Ghana under your watch in this 21st century. Then he goes on to itemize some of the things, and I'll pick two issues that he itemizes. One, he picked an issue of Captain Smart that had been picked up by the police for inciting an uprising by the Ghana army at Parliament and calling for a Rwanda kind of situation in Ghana. He cites it as one of the things that he's appalled that the Akufo Addo had gone, and he calls Akufo Addo out because the police had gone in to pick Captain Smart. Is here, the letter is here. Oh. So let's accept that. Yeah, let's accept that. No, it's here. It's on Edudzi's wall, February 11. Continue. Let's accept that. The president today actually makes all of us understand from this that he is the one that is gone after these 17 people and not the police, per this analogy. Let's accept that. Number two, he goes on to now reference Bawumia Campaign and a journalist, another journalist, who had also been arrested. And hear me clearly what he had done. The police had arrested him and is on Edudzi's wall for alleging on his show that Akufo Addo had met some 7 superior court judges ostensibly to plan with them so that should there be an election petition at the Supreme Court, they will skew it for Akufo Addo. Is there? The president then goes on to name and list several issues and cases of arrests of citizens that had made, speeches and all of that, like we are experiencing today. I have never, in my entire political career, ever stood anywhere to support the police going to arrest anybody. Not when Akufo Addo was president, not when Kufuor was president, not now. Listen, when President Kufuor was president, when President Rawlings was president, when even I was MPP and I was Tescon, we used to walk from Legon to the castle with our botos and our shorts down there protesting and demonstrating against the president. Today that students don't demonstrate. Those times we joined the demonstration, and we were all on Legon campus together. We joined the demonstration when the vandals descend without even knowing what it's about. And by the time we realized we were at Castle, protesting and demonstration, that was even time when President Kufuor was president. I am never on record. That's why I'm saying I'm not a hypocrite. In fact, I am on record on my Facebook wall for calling out the Ghana police for arresting people when the Akufo Addo was president.
Me too, so
it's there, it's on my wall. I have always been against that. So I can speak freely. But he can't. Because when I go to his wall, there are several posts he has shared when Akufo Addo was president, where he was expressing displeasure for the police arresting people for making certain commentaries against Akufo Addo, including even people who may have said things against the First Lady, like we have experienced with some 17. Yes, and he was against it. Yeah. The problem I have with Edudzi and all the other people in NDC today is that you might as well have kept quiet. Because all these things that are happening, which I admit, under the MPP, the police had done similar things, are the same thing happening now, which you spoke against. Now, you see, the question and the point I'm trying to find out today from Honorable Bombadi is that this whole hate speech and free speech and responsible speeches, is it only when it's against people in government? And after, please give me a little time, I beg you. Is it only against people in government? I'm saying that because I am always on TV and radio, and I don't know when I'll fall foul to some of these things. So I want to have my time. Why is it that my presidential candidate, Dr. Mahamadu Bawumia, is insulted by people in the NDC from morning till evening on TikTok? I have the names, I have the videos. Okay? That the police are there on TikTok, they are cyber security units, they are there on TikTok and Facebook, but I have never, for once, seen any of these NDC guys picked up or arrested for inciting violence against Dr. Mahamadu Bawumia. We are in this country, when there's a gentleman in the US who came into this country, got national security protection, driven to the Supreme Court, when there was warrants and things against him, then he was let go. And this is somebody that has insulted every chief in this country, has insulted even the president, this president. Yeah. Every presidential candidate in this country. He has gone after every judge, gone after every pastor, gone after every chief, gone after the president. He has said it openly that he made the president of this republic and that he can bring him down. He walks freely. So don't come and talk to me about laws and hate speech and, we are hypocrites. It is only when we think it benefits us, and there's a certain reason why that is happening. We are beginning to have a certain herd immunity mindset when it comes to how we treat our citizens. Why are you treating me miracles? Not as a citizen of this country, but because I am MPP. I am a Methodist, I am MPP, I'm a Guan. Why are you putting me in a herd immunity? Why are you putting me in a group? If I commit a crime, hold me solely responsible. And treat me according to what the law says you should treat me. Alfred, it's a very dangerous thing we are setting for ourselves. And when some of my party people say that when the tables turn, they will do the same, they are not playing.
Yes, it's wrong.
They are not playing. It will be escalated because people are writing it. People are noting it. And I started talking about this in 2025. When I said that, I admit, whenever there is a change in government, there were a lot of things, some of these things happen. Can we agree to put a stop to it?
Yes.
And say that enough is enough. Let's begin to halt some of these things. When I said that, some of my NDC friends agreed with me. Some too felt like, hey, we've come to power, we should continue. You think that you go and arrest somebody for speaking, and when the table turns, that person has forgotten about you, they will come after you in multiple fold, and we'll be having the same conversation. I am saying what I am saying today because when the table turns, and somebody in my party is doing it to you, I can still speak because I'm speaking against it now, and I spoke against it then. Why are we doing this to ourselves, Alfred?
Okay.
That we say we have a law that says that nobody is above the law, including the judge. Well, we know in this country when judges took goats and money as bribes and skilled judgment. Have you gone to the magistrate courts and the small courts in the district before? I was an MC. There were occasions that I went to those courts. You weep when you see how citizens are being treated in those places where there are small lawyers and some of them don't even have representation. So the reality is that indeed there can be judges that can be political. They are not above the law. If you are a judge and I have a case before you and I think that you are singling me out and you are trying to use your position to come after me, there is a law that allows me to call you out and even petition and get you removed. So if for whatever reason you think that somebody has said that a certain judge is a political judge, it is not the police that comes to arrest the person and throws the person to jail. I am saying this because, I'm saying this not because I support what the person has said. Hear me well. I am saying that whether you are the president, you are the chief justice, you are whatever it is, when somebody comes after your person or your integrity, the laws are there. It doesn't include police kidnapping me and putting me in jail. It says that I should take you on and let you prove how I became political. And if you fail to do that, the laws will punish you, which if it includes jailing, you are jailed. But the situation where we find ourselves today, that if the thing goes against people in government, then we weaponize it and call it hate speech and peddling falsehood. That is the danger that I am worried about, and I think Edudzi should also worry about. Now, Alfred, let's look at all the 17 issues. None of them are issues that I will say with my mouth, or would even go into a meeting and tell my party person to say it. But the question is, since when did it become a crime? The things they've said. We're in this country, when Edudzi and his party, including senior members of this government, were on the street, the communications officer of the NDC, Sammy Gyamfi, saying exactly what this lady has said today. In fact, what this lady has said today, that she said, "Kuna na do mami, eradie kuna na do mami."
And we sang it against
mami, eradie kuna na do mami.
So why is it now a crime?
Why? There is a gentleman who sits. What's his name? There's a gentleman who sits on Wezo TV or so. He said it in plain language that he is surprised that another is not dead, and that God should just kill him in a plane crash. So today, if you are showing me,
how should all these be dealt with?
No. So I'm saying that if you are showing me, if you are showing me these cases, and today you are in government, your conversation shouldn't be that, oh, they've done something, the law should. You are hypocrites, because when you are in opposition, similar cases, you spoke against it, and the president today wrote a letter to Akufo Addo. All the cases are listed in the letter. I'll give it to you. I can give it to you to share.
No, you condemn all these statements. You say these statements, even if they were said by persons within the party, your party, you don't associate with them. How do we address it?
No. It's an issue. Let's agree. Let's agree that we have a difference between morality and crime.
Yes,
absolutely.
I am a Methodist.
And civil wrong.
Okay, I have went to Sunday school, went through. I can disagree with you. I can debate with you. I'll never insult you. It doesn't mean that another person doesn't reserve the right to insult you. That is his business. So for some other citizens, they want to insult you.
They do.
The point is, if I insult you, is it a crime? If I say you, the judge, you are political, there's no crime. I'm not supposed to be in jail for even 30 minutes. I'm supposed to be sued by you.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? If I say that the Gors should kill the president, I would never say that in my life. Never in my life would I say that. But if somebody says that the Gors should kill the president, it is not a crime.
Oh, I wish you are there.
Or I wish that Edudzi is dead. It is not a crime. If Edudzi, even for whatever reason, feels slanted, it is not up to the Ghana police to go and bundle the person and put in jail. It is up to Edudzi to come and seek redress and deal with the matter with you. My worry is that, is the police for all of us? Or it is only when the issue is against the MPA CEO or the boss MD that the police feels that it is of national security threat. Otherwise, even as we speak today, there are people that in the last 3 days that have issued threats, insults against other citizens of this country. And that is why I said that we are building a certain herd immunity mindset. That when people are being treated under the laws of Ghana, we don't treat them as citizens, but we treat them based on the groups and the organizations that we believe they. So somebody has said something. This young lady, and I wrap up, has said something distasteful. You want to deal with it. Why are you saying that MPP people?
She's a citizen.
Okay.
Why are you saying that MPP people? Why are you saying that the MP? She's a citizen. What does the law say about dealing with a citizen? This thing, without we are saying this slowly, so we are playing with it like that. We will be here one day. There will be another rogue policeman under another government that will come for you, Alfred.
So
using the same principle.
Hold on.
I was arrested like that.
You remember when lawyer Martin Kebu used to be here every Akufo Addo OSP. The day he was arrested by the OSP in the way that he found rogue, you saw the way he was all over the place and writing.
Okay, thank you. Now the reference you made about the person on the Wezo TV, I've just received a message from the person with the name George Tay says Hunter has never come to Wezo TV before. So please correct.
I mean, I've gotten the name wrong, but there's a video.
I think that's just a correction.
No, I know. But Alfred, I'm saying that.
You made the point.
I'm making a call. I'm making a call on the president. I'm making a call. The call I'm making on the president is that on February 11th, 2022, he had a very good reason to write a letter to the then president.
Let's share it. That letter.
Okay. It's not going to be your last comment.
But let me wrap up well. Let me wrap up well.
I'm not going to come back to you.
Let me wrap up well. He wrote a letter to the then president Akufo Addo, and it was a very passionate letter, talking about free speech and giving examples of what he feels were attack on free speech by the president. Edudzi published it on his wall, and the letter is here. I'm begging him. Everything he wrote in that letter are still very, very, very active. Fortunately, you have become president. You have the mandate and you have the power to fix all the things you raised in this letter that you found right. Unfortunately, you have done worse in the last 16 months than even the 8-year period that you were complaining about. This government has committed more attacks on free speech in the last 17 months than Akufo Addo did in 8 years. And that for me is something that if the president is watching us this morning, or somebody close to him is watching and hearing, he should please inform the president that the last thing all of us have standing is our free speech. You see, that is the last thing
that is where I take it up on Loyalty people, because we all agree that as free as speech is, it is not absolute and limitless. There are measures to check its abuse. Is it not?
Yes, absolutely. I think that much is not a problem. But where the problem is, and now you see, it's very confusing. As I sit here, I'm like, listen, we should create more time and debate it well, because we can see the hypocrisy. Watch this, Alfred. About 10-15 minutes ago, you wanted Edudzi to withdraw the or the Kofi should withdraw the word silly. I was like, By the time I said, when JM said, when he comes, ex gratia will be abolished, blah, blah, and I said, oh, he should start whilst he was in opposition. What do you say? Is there a lawyer silly, blah, blah, blah? I didn't see the public say that the word silly
was a problem.
Yes. So this thing is becoming confusing. Let's be careful. I like what Miracles is saying. Look, Miracles, I want that letter JM wrote. I think we should put it. It will help us, because it's becoming, the hypocrisy is becoming too much. If what Miracles is saying is really in JM's letter, then that is the truth. Look, as for this song, look, we used to sing, Kum JJ Maye, Kum JJ Maye, Radi Kum JJ Maye, Yami. Oh yeah, I don't have a good voice. Please, you can sing it. We sang it on campus. Yes. We sang it. Went to what do you call it? Castle. The Mobra struggle. It was a common song. So I'm now confused that they listen, you say about the president. People say, hey, you can't say. This, what, 99, that we sang this song. Prof, were you teaching at that time on Legon campus?
No, it was a student.
Okay, you are. It was a song that we sang. You sing from Legon to Castle. 1999. It's a common song. Now they've turned it to then Sammy Gyamfi.
Every president has his version.
So please, look, there is space for political satire. There is space for political satire. So let's be careful how we mix up political satire with serious statements. It's becoming too much. I think it's becoming too much. So the young lady's one, yes, it's unpalatable, but to be candid, straight from my heart, I would say that's in the realm of political satire. And I want us to read JM's own letter. Please
talk about your experience.
Because I don't want this. If we are not dealt with them, we call Akufo Addo Mampam. Every time I sit here, Adam Bona is my Mampam mate. You guys cautioned me against it, and I called Akufo Addo Mampam endlessly here. Nobody came to arrest me. You
were cautioned and you withdrew.
I just
wanted to make the point that it wasn't encouraged. Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't. TV3 stands against it, but I also think that there is space for political satire. When Akufo Addo was emasculating us, when I called him Mampam, it excited a lot of people. So it's like we're hitting him back. That's what political satire does. So let's be careful. It can't be that any statement you make against the president, hey, the police should come for you.
When you make statements against that government at the time, okay, and please, they called you to BNI, it was wrong.
Yes.
We all went there and we said it was wrong.
There was one that I was invited. privately, that Uncle Kofi represented me, right?
Wrong.
About this, but you see, we didn't make it public. Now, OSP, you see, these are the things that bring emboldened security forces. So a soldier insulted me, I insulted him back. Quickly, they put me in handcuffs.
Okay.
If we don't stop these things, you would then embolden security agencies
to
go for
citizens.
Yeah, it will be an abuse. There is space. Look, let's be very clear. There is space for political satire. Don't think that Section 208 is meant to emasculate political satire. There are some of them we can say things against the president as a form of entertainment.
There's a rule in the states.
Go to the US and all that. You see the things, the way they lampoon President Trump. They lampoon him all over. Look, Keir Starmer, UK, etc. So let's delineate what is political satire from what is really hate speech. Some of it. Ask my mate. I left Lagos in 2002. You will see. And even went back several times. Right. It was always a popular song. Then later Kufuor came. Then they put in Kufuor's name. Then they put Addo's name. So please, let's be careful. Let's be careful. Nobody is saying that people should throw the country into this, what do you call it, chaos, etc. But we are also saying that some of the statements are political satire. So if you begin to think that even political satire is against the law, then you are lost. In a democracy, there is space for it. Look, Oliver, what didn't Oliver Bawumia say? He said that if the soldiers don't do the coup, he himself will do the coup. We said it was wrong. We said it was wrong. So today, you're saying that any small statement, that's wrong. Meanwhile, at that time, people who today are saying that the statements against JM are wrong, etc., that's a crime. They didn't say so. We're all saying that no, the arrest of Oliver was wrong. So what is this? What is this? I think, look, it doesn't look good. I think what is creating the tension then, but which I think we should watch is that is the use of the remand powers. They've been excessive.
Abuse of the remand powers.
It's the abuse of the remand powers. Look, Abronye, by all means, I don't support what he said, right? I don't. But when he went to court the second time, you know, we have Section 96, subsection 5 of the Act 30, which deals with if a judge thinks that, so basically, let me paraphrase before we go in there. So what it says is that if you've been charged with an offense and given bail, presented to court, you are given bail, and that case is still pending. And in that first case, you can be in prison for more than 6 months, at least 6 months. In other words, more than 6 months, right? Okay, let me use the word at least because sometimes it can be just 6 months, right? So, and then whilst you're on bail, you commit another offense and you are brought before court. The law says that, oh, based on it, then the judge can say you are likely to commit another offense. And so the judge can remand you, refuse to bail. So in this case, His Honor, but we will like saying justice, even though it's not a high court. So please, when you hear me saying justice, Kunsun, he's not going to high court here, but that's how we speak. We wish them well that everybody will rise. So I'll say justice, Joseph Kunsun. So he was using the black and white letter of the law. It's there, Section 96, subsection 5, then you have C and D. So let's just read it quickly. It says, a court shall refuse to grant bail if it is satisfied that the defendant, and most of the time we use accused, but the law here says defendant, C, may commit a further offense when on bail. So that's if you admit him to bail, he will go and commit another offense, not necessarily the one for which he was brought there.
Right.
Or D, is charged with an offense punishable by imprisonment exceeding 6 months, which is alleged to have been committed while the defendant was on bail. So that's the one I said when the first one. So let's say in this case, Abronye, the first one, so it was also about publication of false news.
Yes.
And that law, that particular tool, it is a misdemeanor. So it goes to a maximum of 3 years. So from a fine, so a judge can give a fine, 1 day in custody, whatever, but a maximum of 3 years, right? So Abronye fitted that category, that he already had one case which has a maximum of 3 years imprisonment. Then whilst on bail, he's alleged to have committed another offense. So if you are going by the black and white letter of this law, you would say that, yes, the judge may have been right. But unfortunately, we have this case of Oko versus the Republic, which is a 1976 case. And that was what was Taylor J. at that time he was Taylor J. Later he rose up to the Supreme Court. He was confronted with it. So 50 years ago, Taylor J went in and said that is a dangerous law. Very dangerous. Then otherwise, many people will be denied bail. Even Oliver, I remember after the coup treason things, later on when he led the galamsey demonstrations, which we all supported, you know, when he was arrested, yes, this thing was invoked. It was invoked. So long and short, I'm saying that Taylor J at the time, more than 50 years ago, said this law is a danger to our society. If you read it, you see he did a very exhaustive...
That's 208?
Yeah, no, that's the...
96.
96, subsection 5, C and D, saying that if the person comes before you the second time, when the first case has not been dealt with, has not been concluded, then you can refuse him bail because he already has one case.
Right.
Okay, because he says he may commit a further offense when on bail. If you leave him and he goes out, he will go and do either the same thing or any other thing. Then D is charged with an offense punishable by imprisonment, blah, blah. Yes, and so you read Oko versus the Republic, and Taylor said, no. He admitted a guy to bail. And Oliver's own, when the circuit court sought to do the same, we made noise. It went to High Court. He was admitted to bail, even though the first case had not been concluded, etc. So please, I think that this thing, the way some people have developed very thin skins, anything you say against the president, they should pick you. No, I'm not one to do that. That's why I want you. Let's see the letter JM route. That should be the
small font, so we're trying to just...
Let's see the letter JM route, because I can't support this kind of chameleon behavior in opposition. Or that's what they all do. I can't support that. All I'm saying is as for political satire, we can sing. Nobody can stop any citizen.
Today, my brother Miracle says all of us are hypocrites, except him. I just want us to do a reference. And we go to gbconline.com. Miracles Abuaji slams call for the release of Democracy Hub protesters. Thank you for your holier than thou attitude this morning. Which form of speech is more than the right to demonstrate? At the core of the right to demonstrate is free speech. The two run together. When young people of this country went on demonstration, and the reason for the demonstration is that they found that there were things happening in this country that they were not happy with. Under the name Democracy Hub, Miracle and his people banded them up, took them to Isawan prison, and when calls were made by well-meaning Ghanaians that this individual should be released, Miracle went on Asempa and likened the demonstrators to rapists. That is your record. And you have the temerity to sit on this platform and call people hypocrites. Do you know what has gone on in this country? My point is this simple. See, when we had the opportunity, and I will go back to the Tommy Thompson, the Supreme Court had the occasion at that time, the criminal libel law. The Supreme Court said, and in fact, it is reported in the Ghana Law Report, Republic versus Tommy Thompson Books Limited. That's the Supreme Court of Ghana Law Report, 1996-1997. That's the number 2. The court said those provisions were constitutional provisions, and that nowhere on earth is free press unlimited. This morning we are being told that the freer society is the more developed is it. Go to China. There's sound reason why China is where it is. There's sound reason why China is where it is. 2, in the United States of America, where the likes of Kofi Bento usually want us to emulate, there are laws on speech. And that is why today in the United States, the Anti-Defamation League, if you dare deny Holocausts, that is a basis for you to be prosecuted. Is Kofi Bento not aware of this? Is he not aware? in the United Kingdom. But you see, do you know where the hypocrisy becomes even more? Do you know where the hypocrisy becomes even more glaring? Nana Addo Akufo Addo, as Attorney General, brought the repeal of the criminal libel law. By 2008, they introduced the electronic communication law and through the back door introduced section 76(1) of 775. It's a 2008 legislation. Kofi Bento has never denied his MPP membership. He has never.
But has he stated that he's an MPP?
No, I'm coming.
Has he ever stated that he's MPP?
Oh, no. I mean, association with MPP is not a criminal organization, so defamation won't lie. Yes. But the point I am making is this. When the MPP introduced the repeal of the criminal libel law, by the time they left office in 2008, they then introduced the electronic communication,
which we have condemned. I have just
please,
condemned
hold
it right
on,
now.
hold
So
on,
add that.
Hold on.
You should go
They
to court to have
introduced
it
the Electronic Communication Act 2008, particularly Section 76 that you referenced much earlier. That same provision is not different.
Yes.
From the criminal libel law. The same people.
It's unconstitutional.
Today you sit here and talk about unconstitutionality. We've had the benefit of 8 years of MPP under Nana Addo Akufo Addo. The constitutionality of that 2008 legislation never came up. You dare not say that today.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.